Hey guys, welcome back to Ready Facts. Today we have another amazing story on Ready Facts. Wife cheated on me before we were even married with our friend/her coworker and I finally left. Me, 33 male, and my STBXW, 31 female, started cheating on me with her coworker in the summer of 2017. We married November 2017. Together for 11 years altogether. Trying to keep this short, but it's 3.5 years of bullsh*t, so let me run through this. It's a lot. Here's the disaster of events. STBXW starts to cheat with her coworker in summer of 2017, invites him to our wedding in winter of 2017 but can't last minute because of work. She invites him into our social life. Her immediate family knows AP and AP's wife. STBXW tried to make him my friend and have us hang out, has sex at work after hours. In the back of his truck, in the car I'm left with, in our apartment, our couch, our bed, using the GPS she had on me to know where I'm at, and God knows where else, took a Plan B pill at least once. She insisted I go to his bachelor party and I did. He got a BJ from one of the strippers. She befriends AP's wife and we're best friends at one point. AP's wife makes STBXW her maid of honor. This brings us to summer of 2020. AP's wife gets pregnant in June 2020. That same month me and STBXW purchase a home. STBXW says to cut costs, AP, an amateur handyman, can help us in the work we want on it. She asks if it's okay if they go alone to get a head start. At this point I know him and more importantly I trust him. I've known him for 3.5 years. He's my friend. I said okay but still felt uneasy about it. They ended up having sex in every room in our new home. Before I could even really call it home she had sex in it. It's ruined forever. We've been trying to get pregnant for a year. One night about to have sex STBXW says something to the effect of let me get mine before you get yours but stopped short of her thought but I got the drift. But there's a problem. I don't have that problem. I'm not bragging but I stay hard even after I get an orgasm, for 11 straight years with her. She gets 3 orgasms to my 1 for 11 years. I can give her more if we're really into it. Some men can't go on after the first orgasm but that's not me. I let it go but it stuck with me. That was my first thought waking up. Something snapped and I went crazy X mode. She left for work and I rushed to her laptop trying to get into her text messages. Don't have access, then search all her social media. There's access to one. Search through every message from a guy. And there it is. Words that will forever be burned in my head. Multiple quickies. I miss you. I like your arms. They can carry me, babe. I sent her a screenshot of what I found. I was in shock. Then I had my first panic attack. I called my brother and told him. She called me after and I went off on her then hung up. She denies it was physical, just flirting the whole time. After I walked our dogs I was surprised to see STBXW in total shame standing there. 30 minutes before she showed AP the screenshot and said his face went white and then she drove home because she thought I was leaving her. Then I demanded answers. She confessed to having sex with him for 3.5 years. I asked if she gave him blowjobs. She says yes. Dumb question I know. But I lost it there. After I calmed down I sat in a chair in shock. She came over and cried, apologizing, begging to forgive her and hugged me. Once I hugged her it all came out. That devastating, unbearable, tortuous and never-ending heartache I still feel today. It consumed me. I told her she broke me. I'm broken. I cried my eyes out. Ugly, filthy cry. I barely ate for a week. I was too traumatized to think about leaving. I just found out my entire marriage and some change was a lie. My identity was stolen and turned my world upside down. I was too consumed in trying to make sense of things while traumatized. We decide on trying to reconcile with therapy, couples and individual. I lasted 2 months then I needed space. I left to my parents. I thought this was it. It's over. I could barely leave but I was so proud I was going to post this on Reddit to show you guys that I did it. But being away from her felt like ripping off an emotional limb. It felt self-inflicted. I lasted 3 weeks and came back. I missed her so damn much. That's when I found out if I decide to really leave it was going to be horrendous. But I'm going to try and reconcile. We also paused starting a family. Would be crazy to start if we don't know about our future. But she has a hard time waiting, yet understands what I need to go through in healing, but doesn't know how long she can bear not having kids. The patience required from her is wearing her down. But I get it. There's ultimately a deadline. I told her what I needed from her to feel safe. She or he needed to find another job. She barely tried in the beginning, so I sent a message to AP, knowing he hadn't told his wife, and if he wants to keep it that way he needs to leave. Instead, AP tells his pregnant wife. Instead of hearing back from him, I get a call from his FIL asking me to back off. What? FIL, supposedly, barely works, so probably saw his paycheck flying away since they all live in the same house and plan to move into another one. FIL ends up passing the phone to AP, same voice I heard from STBXW, shame and guilt overbearing AP. I go off on him and hang up. So there it is. She wasn't leaving and he wasn't either. She didn't want to leave in case I leave, then what was the point in leaving her job, in her mind? It's also tied to her family's business. She feels a strong social obligation to keep it. Red flag. We try to continue reconciliation. But every day I thought about it multiple times a day. Daily trauma. Nothing was the same, holidays, mornings, nights, kisses, sex, simple interactions. I'm haunted by our home because of the triggers. My mind unravels almost every interaction between them and us, and it's like a mini D-Day every single day, but we continue. Forward to last week and we're at a stalemate. She doesn't feel like I want to continue this, but my PTSD is so intense I can barely keep myself together. Still 7 months later. She leaves to her sisters unrelated to us, and we go back and forth on text. We would check in every 3 months on how I was feeling, more importantly if I wanted to start a family. I know I couldn't do it. How can I be there for them when I'm struggling on just me? We would both be miserable with a baby on the way. I don't deserve that. I would also be haunted in not having the trust it's even mine. That was part of the reason to leave. Again, she says she can't wait a year, but just hopes I'm ready before. So having that in my mind that it's 4 months left for the D-Day anniversary and it hasn't changed exponentially in almost 8 months and the ongoing trauma, I decide to leave. Every day was stay or leave and it was eating at me. Like a crow's picking out your eyes. It was and still is horrible. So I'm here at a friend's place. Tortured every day in a different way since I left. Every bone in my body says to go back. But when I'm there, I'm miserable. I'm away from her now, and I'm also still miserable. But what's going to change if I go back? Maybe I can change and move past this, but it's going to be more than a year. I can feel it. I don't want to say it out loud, but I need this. It's for me. For my peace, but it's not coming fast enough. I just want the pain to stop, but I know it'll take time. I know talking to friends and family helps, and I'm trying to find the new me and find hobbies. Being alone with my thoughts is the worst for me, so I have to stay busy. I didn't think I could be here. I didn't think I could write this, but like so many others, the advice and vulnerable and painful moments you all share helped me be here. I want and need to continue therapy. It really helps. Thank you all. Any advice welcome. Edit. To be clear, we are going through with divorce and only contacting for splitting everything up. I know I can't go back and be happy. My last few paragraphs is the tug of war my head and heart are telling me. I left because of my head, my heart wants to go back.